not just musical theater, all theater, requires a kind of bravery. And that bravery is not unconnected to ego, but it requires a kind of bravery, that bravery to stand up on a stage and in front of all of these people to expose yourself.
To hide behind something is not going to serve what you do in your art. It's not going to give someone goosebumps. It's not going to connect with them from the heart. So you have to be your true self.
People who perform in the theater and people that come to see the theater become better human beings. It makes you more curious about the outside world. It takes you out of yourself. It exposes you to different people, different times, what people are afraid of, what people love, what's important to other people. But I think the emphasis is on the other.
When you're studying people and you see the struggles they go through, and especially in the homosexual community, the LGBT community, they do face a lot of struggle and ridicule and bullying, and I think this world of theatre and the arts is just more, I don't want to say open-minded, I don't want to offend anybody else, but I think we just have more empathy for people, maybe.
Part of what our job is to do is to give voice to characters that are nothing like ourselves. And when you do that all the time, it becomes a lot easier to put yourself in other people's shoes. And I think particularly because there is such a great LGBT community that found themselves in the theater, and that the exposure for all of us to be around that community, and then to understand immediately what it would feel like to be in their position. I think the theater community has always been ahead of the curve as far as accepting outsiders.
When we're on stage, we're not ourselves as actors. I'm certainly not, I'm not the Andy Carl, I'm Rocky Balboa. So on stage, all we do is basically play off of one another and forget everything about who the person may be as a person, but actually caring about the character. So it drives actors to look way beyond what's right in front of them.
There's just an openness, and an acceptance, a love that, I just feel so blessed and lucky that I've had that in my life. And I don't know, I just think that there's a welcoming and a real community, and maybe that's why.
Growing up in Corpus Christi, Texas, I left at 17. I pretty much went from high school graduation to Trailways bus. And I just knew it was going to be, there'd be other gay people in New York City. I wouldn't be the only one. And how did I know that? Theater just seemed to be a place of wonder to me. It really didn't have much to do with sexuality. It had a place, it had to do with enchantment, wonder, taking you away from the real world into a realer world.
Let's say 1974, when I graduated from high school. I could never have kissed a girl openly. I could never have gone to a party with my girlfriend being out. And I remember that first time I went into a party that was all gay people, and we could just, it wasn't like we were kissing and making out, but we knew if we wanted to, we could have. So there was this tremendous freedom. And with freedom comes pride, and with pride comes freedom. It's sort of interchangeable.
I think gay pride is very simple. It means human equality. It's like to be prideful in yourself no matter who you are, and to love yourself how you are and how you are made.
Singers, actors, dancers, you can be yourself. And that's why when folks want to be themselves, the first place they come is Broadway.